welcome to another edition of the Blacktor Studio. Today we have with us the hilarious, the amazing, the literal storyteller of my life, Natasha Mumba. I am so grateful that she's here. We've been in hysterics before this interview even started. Guys, get ready. Welcome, Natasha.
Hi, Starr. How are you?
Girl, what is that? You know what?
No, this is me on my best behavior. I'm going to behave myself today. I'm not going to act wild. I'm going to keep it together. Yeah.
That's how I know you. Keeping it together,
I know.
Natasha.
Yeah, really keeping it together. All the time, focused, silent in the rehearsal hall and in public spaces. Just, keeping to herself. Not in your face. Not demanding your attention all the time.
Can't even get question in.
Oh, sorry, would you like to ask me something? Oh, go ahead. You go ahead, girl. Ask the question. I'm ready.
Oh my God. I am living for you. Thank you for this. Oh my God. Natasha Mumba, we're going to begin this interview in the same way I begin any interview. Where were you born?
I was born in a small mining town of Kalilushi in the Copper Belt, which is in the northwestern part of Zambia. And my family right now is based in Lusaka, which is the capital, which is in central Zambia. And that's where I'm from.
So when did you come here to the Canadas?
Thank you for asking. I came into the Canadas when my dad got a diplomatic position in Ottawa. That was in grade 11. Age and grades are not something that correlate in my mind. So I don't know how old I was, but I was in grade 11. And then I did 2 years of high school in Ottawa.
And what was your family life like?
My dad is a pastor and a political figure back in Zambia. In the small town of Kitwe where we grew up, I believe it was the first private Christian school my mother ran and started. And my dad had the biggest church, Pentecostal church in the town. So there were these two sort of beacons of the community, and they were very high up. And it all got to my head as a little kid, and I thought I was the queen of that city.
Let's be honest, weren't you?
I mean, I thought I was. Really funny story about that. So my mom was the principal and owned the school that we all went to. My dad was the head pastor of the church that we all went to. And my mom kicked me out of her school. Yeah, she kicked me out of her school because I was so much of a diva. My grades were suffering because I was more interested in being the popular girl. Mind you, like I'm in grades, two and three. She kicked me out in 3, sent me to another school for 4. Because I was trying to do a thing, I was trying to start a community of people. And my mom was like, no, sis, your grades are suffering and you need to go to another school. I think someone else told her, they're like, Mrs. Mumba, your daughter's not going to succeed here. If you keep her here, she's got too many perks. So yeah, so that's what I grew up in. I have 3 brothers and a sister, and I'm the youngest, obviously. Yeah, we grew up in a really dope house. I didn't grow up in an oppressive Christian house, which was great. My mom wiped out most of the oppressive nature of Christianity in her house. She lives out what she preaches. She's our great spiritual anchor, and she's the hen. She's the woman who holds us all down. So, yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love your stories about your childhood. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You grew out of that mean girl spirit, though. I
hope so.
However, I feel like maybe you use that to channel for the role I saw you portray.
Yeah, it was interesting. It felt easy to access. It felt like it was just right there. No, I mean, so my mom also was not helping. We had a chef, right? And so the chef would make us hot meals for lunch every day. He would come in a car and he would drop off the lunches to us. I mean, even if you're trying not to be like, you know what I mean? Some butler comes up to you and hands you your warm lunch while these kids are eating cold food. Like, so I grabbed it.
Grade 2 and 3. So you were like 8 and 9.
Yeah. It was her fault. Anyway, so these kids were like, oh, Natasha, can we have some of your lunch? And I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Okay. whoever wants to get my lunch today, you stand here. This is off. I can't believe I'm telling you this. I was like, you run, you have to run all the way to the wall and come back. And the first person who comes back gets a lunch. Girl, I know that is the kind of mean girl that I was. And there's a part of me that the bravery of that girl I seek out more because I need her to come through.
Oh
But
my
she can leave all of that other mess behind. Like that, she has a few problems. But yeah,
Thank you so much for sharing that.
yeah, that's my upbringing. Really humble. Really humble.
Are all your siblings in the arts?
No. Well, I found theater. I found it. And then I realized that I liked it. My brother played the piano. So he was the artistic one and he drew. So it was like in him. He was kind of always our artist. But for me, I discovered it when I went to boarding school and I started doing plays. Actually, no, that's not true. Even in my mom's school, I did a play. And then when I went to the school that my mom kicked me out of and sent me to the other school, I did a play there that I really liked. And I thought, oh, you know what? This is really cool. I really enjoyed doing it. And that's how I kept on progressing that way. But yeah, so it's just me and my brother who are who are artists. Who are kind of artists.
So you went to boarding school in Zambia.
Yes.
And then boarding school as in you lived there?
Yes. I was in Zambia. We got sent to the United States, Texas, for a couple of years. And then we went back to Zambia for a couple of years. So when I went back, that's when I went to boarding school. Then we came to Canada after that boarding school experience.
So your whole life has been traveling with your parents, which is kind of
Yeah.
incredible. Like, also
Yeah.
can be devastating for sure, depending on who you are as a human being and making friends, of which I feel like it was really difficult for you. So, I just feel like that must have been real, real hard.
First of all, it was real, real hard. But you know what happened? I got forced because I moved so much. There were so many pros and cons of moving around because, like, my siblings like to joke around about our first move to the States because it was incredibly traumatic. Because we were like Africans, and Africans were not cool at that point. There was
Right.
not enough like cool African content. So even Black Americans saw us as these sort of dumb bush people. So yeah, so it was so bizarre to be like, oh my gosh, so there's someone here I know, and they're like, oh girl, you from Africa, and you're like, oh, that's not cool. And so it was really weird, like us arriving. We joke about it now as siblings, but it was a really hard time for all of us. And we were like, what is this country? Like, people are not as nice as we're hoping to. But then I found the theater company and they were great. Like I just found like the theater troupe of people and I was like, I'm gonna be okay. But before it was like, girl, it was so hard in the US.
Wow. And
Yeah.
so you went to boarding school and you went back to Zambia, and then you went to school in Ottawa where there's a bevy of Black people for you to identify with. And so that you could, no? That's cool. That's cool. But you found your,
Ottawa, all respect to people who love Ottawa, but if you know me, you know how I feel about Ottawa. One of the most boring cities I've ever lived in. I think if I had a family and I had a good job there, I'd still be bored, but I'd be grateful for the things that it would offer me. But Ottawa's not for me. God bless.
fair.
I
And
still want to work there, so please hire me. But like, I'll come there for a contract. My God. But like, I don't want to live there for the rest of my life. Thank you.
that's only fair. I hear you. So you were in Ottawa and you were in the theater scene there? Where did you go to
No,
school?
the first high school I went to was St. Joe's Catholic High School. So I was like, what's the theater program here? They're like, well, we do murder mysteries every year. And I was like, I need to find another school. Me? Because I had decided in my mind, I was like, I think this is what I want to do. I need rigor. And so there was no rigor at that school. And so I just started looking. It was grade 12. And I was
Wow.
like, I have to move somewhere that'll allow me to do this. And then Canterbury High School, which is the arts high school in Ottawa, they audition you to come in grade 9 in order to be in the arts program. So I called them up and I said, I'm in grade 12. I know this is crazy, but please let me audition for you. I just need to be there for a year. I need to know like what's happening in Canada. I have no idea. And they let me audition. I auditioned with all of these like 8th graders and I was an 11th grader and I went in there and I did my pieces and then I got in. And it was kind of bizarre because like I was with all these people who had spent all these years together. And it is very much like a little conservatory of people. And so everybody let me in and people were great. And And if it wasn't for that program, I wouldn't have known what theater schools to audition to. Like my teachers were like, audition here, 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 and here. And I did. And I auditioned at all of them. And then I got into NTS and moved to Montreal.
What an amazing experience. First of all, that you had the foresight that this is something that you really wanted to pursue, first and foremost, but then to have the chutzpah, as it were, to have the strength and stick to itiveness to say, I need to be in rigor.
Yeah.
So I'm going to seek out a program that's going to get me the opportunities to practice my craft, of which, P.S., a lot of people don't even think of it as a craft at the age when you decided this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
have that strength to call the school yourself and say, this is what I need. Please let me try. Get into the program, and that literally propelled your life and career forward. That's what I think is really important to note. You made a decision, the course of your life, and
Yeah.
then you followed through, regardless
Yeah.
of, as you say, regardless of knowing that they only audition grade 9-year-olds. Grade
Yeah.
9-year-olds?
Grade 9-year-olds. We're keeping
Grade
that one as well.
9-year-olds.
Yeah.
And then you went into this program that, as you say, probably was pretty cliquey by then because you're going in for your last year.
Yeah.
But they embraced you, I suspect, because not only of your talent and your personality, but also your passion for the arts really shined through. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah.
incredible that you had that kind of foresight.
I think younger me knew that I needed it, or that it fed me in a way that nothing else had.
Well, also, you say that you're chill about it now. I think you're referring to your chill about the process of getting you to NTS. You're chill about having had that kind of passion and foresight back then. But in truth, I know the kind of theater maker you are. I know the kind of creative person and actor that you are. And you have that passion and foresight right now in your career, in your life, that you know what you want, and you don't settle for no. No is not no to you. It doesn't seem like, let me clarify. Instead of taking no as a finite thing, you take it as a not for me, or a not yet, or
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
here. Such an incredible, incredible skill to hone, because it is part of your personality 100%, but that can get beat out of you. It gets beat
Yeah.
out of adults in general. We have
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
this, we can do all the things, and we have no fear when we're younger, and then all of a sudden the fear creeps in as we get
Yeah.
older for whatever reason. I love that your outlook on life, primarily we're talking about your career, but your outlook is that no doesn't necessarily mean no, I'm a failure. No
Yeah.
means,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
let me,
No.
how else can I look at this
Yeah.
so I can still pursue the avenues and goals that I have for my life?
Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode of the Blacktor Studio.
I mean, it's so funny hearing you play it back. I'm like, yeah, I guess I really did want to do this thing. Like, I didn't even realize. And it's so funny because my dad had a driver. Talk about bougie lifestyle. Talk about my parents. They're bougie, okay? They've been living the dream for such a long time. Anyway, so my dad's driver drove me around to high schools. I had a list of high schools, and I went into each high school, and I was like, what's your drama program? What do you guys do? Are you okay, thank you. And I was like, I just was going out because I was like, I need someone who really cares about this. And thinking about it now, I'm like, girl, you're crazy. Like I was on some tip, and I guess I'm here now so I can be more chill about it. But younger me knew that I needed it.